This season,
Is there some sort of alien attack happening here?
have a nice end of the world.
Come on, cutie pie.
David Duchovny, Orlando Jones, Seann William Scott,
Awesome!
and Academy Award nominee Julianne Moore.
I'm okay.
Evolution.
Welcome back to the 11th annual Halloween special. Tonight we're talking about a film that I can almost guarantee none of you thought I would discuss during this year's festivities, and that film is a 2001 movie directed by Ivan Reitman, Evolution. When a meteorite falls to Earth, two college professors, Dr. Ira Kane and Professor Harry Phineas Block, are assigned the job of checking the site out. To their surprise, they discover organisms not of this planet. Soon the site is taken over by the government, and as the new life forms begin to evolve and start to get more and more dangerous, it's up to the two professors to save the planet. Evolution is a movie that's very special to me. In 2001, when the film came out, my parents abandoned their no PG-13 rule. I had turned 13 that year, and they decided, all right, maybe he can watch a few. I was, at the time, and still am, a die-hard X-Files fan, so when I saw that David Duchovny had a science fiction comedy out that involved aliens, this was one of the very first PG-13 rentals I picked up with my mom. By no means is Evolution a great movie. In fact, some people might not even call it a good movie. By this point, I'd say it's pretty much universally forgotten. You don't hear anyone talking about it. In fact, when they do, it's usually dismissed as Ivan Reitman making a not Ghostbusters movie. But for years, I have found myself rewatching this movie and still enjoying it. It has an incredibly sarcastic sense of humor that really does not take its situation seriously. And seeing it at the perfect age for it, I think my 13-year-old brain just thought, you know, it's really cool that there's an alien invasion movie that's funny. It's not super serious. I'm not scared about the planet ending like I was in Independence Day. And a year later, when I saw Signs, I was very scared while watching an alien invasion movie. So I always liked going back to Evolution as a breath of fresh air and fun while the world is ending. This was also possibly the first time I ever saw Seann William Scott in a movie, because I don't think I had seen American Pie at that point on TV. If I did, I definitely snuck that shit because I would not have been allowed to watch that. And I still think he's extremely funny in this movie.
You gonna finish that bacon?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish it. I ordered it, didn't I?
He plays an aspiring fireman. He wants nothing more than to be a firefighter, and he's pretty terrible at it. And he can't pass any of the tests.
Despite all the warnings, she was smoking in bed, fell asleep. Bad move.
And so when he gets the chance to fight against these aliens, he sees it as a way to prove himself. It was also one of the first times I ever saw Orlando Jones in anything. And he too is hilarious in the film, especially in a scene where an alien gets stuck up his ass.
All right, give me some forceps. I might be able to catch it in his colon.
How are you going in?
Rectally.
I'll get the lubricant.
There's no time for lubricant.
There's always time for lubricant!
And I can only speculate about this, but during the later seasons of the X-Files, specifically 7, 8, and 9, there was significant contract disputes with David Duchovny and Fox, to the point where he wasn't in the show hardly at all in season 8, and only in the finale of season 9. As great as Gillian Anderson was as Scully, and she was great, David Duchovny was sorely missed, and at the time his film career was really picking up, because films like this came along. He also had his directorial debut a few years later with Robin Williams and Anton Yelchin, and he was in a Steven Soderbergh film in 2002 called Full Frontal. So I've always viewed this movie in two different ways, as someone who just enjoys watching it and having a good time, but also as a massive X-Files fan who suspects that David Duchovny took an alien invasion comedy instead of doing the last couple seasons of The X-Files, and that might not be exactly a coincidence. Julianne Moore is also very funny in the movie as an oddly clumsy senior researcher in epidemiology. There's choices like that in the movie that just don't feel mainstream. There is something about Evolution that obviously is. It's a big movie with special effects and aliens and huge stars, especially for its time, but there's this sensibility to it that felt like Ivan Reitman was trying to be a little more indie. There's some odd music choices in the movie that I think work really well for this weird tone that he was going for, but it also feels kind of opposed to the kinds of music you would normally expect to be in a comedy like this. If you've never seen Evolution, I am going to talk about one specific aspect of the finale that I've always found hilarious, that is something I've never seen in a movie for sure, and I don't think I will ever see again. The characters are striving to figure out what exactly is going on with these alien life forms, because they're evolving very rapidly, and it seems like there's no end to it, and when Ted Levine and all of his dudes in the army decide to napalm the meteor site where most of the alien life is, they soon realize that fire makes them evolve even faster. So a rapid search is going on to figure out if they have some kind of weakness, and they eventually pinpoint selenium. But where do you get a bunch of selenium at the last minute? That's where the character Danny, a student at the school, comes in. That actor's name is Danny Bauer, and most people from my generation might recognize him as Donkey Lips on Salute Your Shorts. Him and his friend Deke, played by Ethan Suplee, also from a 90s television show, Boy Meets World, and the highly underrated The Butterfly Effect. They know that selenium is the active ingredient in Head & Shoulders shampoo. What better way to kill a whole bunch of aliens than dandruff shampoo?
Wow, fighting the alien menace can be tough work.
And so is keeping your hair clean, shiny, and dandruff-free.
So it's a good thing that we always keep a healthy supply of
Head & Shoulders around the house.
Look, I'm well aware that evolution means way more to me than it does to probably everyone watching this video. I've always found the film very enjoyable, but I recognize its faults. It's by no means a great movie in any way. And when people do say it's Ghostbusters light, I get it. But it works for me, and it always has. There were a few comedies that came out in that time period that really were special to me. The first two Rush Hours were also like that. Those movies and Evolution and movies like Liar Liar, I've always loved, and I watched them so many times that they became like a song that I had heard a lot. Do you know what I mean? Like when you hear a song so many times, you know every sound in that song, every inflection in the singer's voice, every beat. It's just memorized in your head. And that's how it was for me with Evolution and those first two Rush Hour movies or Liar Liar. I could quote the entire movie from back to front, hear all of the sound effects in my head, the musical score and how it goes in and out of the scenes. I've always loved the movie, and if you guys want to have a stupid fun time this Halloween watching David Duchovny, Orlando Jones, Seann William Scott, and Julianne Moore go up against a bunch of aliens with some Head & Shoulders shampoo, well, then this movie might be for you. Guys, thank you so much for continuing to watch the 11th annual Halloween special. I got more videos coming your way very soon, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.